Hi everyone and welcome to Club 3 episode 60 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM20 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM, and boy have we got an episode today. 2 Premier League matches left, we're going to play them both. We've got 3 teams sitting on 36 games played and 70 points each. 3 into 2 doesn't go. 2 of us are going to go into the Champions League next season. 1 of us is going to go into the Europa League. We are also in the Europa League final for this season. In next episode, we'll be playing that against Chelsea. So there's lots of things happening. After that, we go into an International England tournament. The World Cup starts in a few weeks, so we'll be doing that for the next few episodes as well after that. So there's loads coming up, but today is all about the league and seeing if we can find a way to unsettle this top 4 and take a Champions League spot for next season. Now, the key thing will be in the next game, we play Leicester, then we have West Ham, so 2 middle of the table sides. Manchester United have got to play Manchester City in the next game. That is the key game, I think. If Man United get through that, I think they'll probably win their second game as well. Liverpool have got a fairly easy run in, so they're likely to win their 2 games. So we've got to hope that City do us a favour against United. So that's coming up for today. Before we do that though, we're going to talk about the new skin. I'm always rotating skins at the moment, trying to find a good one that I really like. So keep commenting in the comments below, telling me other ones to look out for or what you think about the ones that we're using. Today is a skin called Livid20 and it's by Entreaty. And I think it's quite nice. It's quite a nice dark skin. I love the dark skins. I'm not interested in light ones personally. I think the dark ones look better. So if I go to the tactics, you can see that it's fairly simple. It's quite clear. Everything's kind of laid out in the way that you would expect it to be. In terms of squad screens, if we go and have a look at a player, let's go and pick Joku, for example. This is the only issue I have, I think, a little bit in these colour choices in these squares. To me, the light blue is the top attribute numbers in this particular player, and I think the yellow stands out more than the blue, so I'd have switched them around possibly. What do you think about that? Does the yellow sort of is that more vibrant to you than the blue is? Let me know in the comments below what you think, but I'd switch those around possibly. But other than that, I quite like it. It's not a bad skin at all. So Livid20 by Entreaty, go and have a look at it. There'll be a link in the description below just to go and find it and download it if you like it. So go check that out if you want to. Anyway, enough of all of that. Today, double header. Leicester, West Ham, couple of mid-table Premier League sides. Leicester in 9th, West Ham in 13th. We've got to win both of these games pretty much to have any chance of getting one of these Champions League groups, these Champions League spots for next season. We have done so well this season to fight on 2 fronts in terms of the Europa League and the Premier League, and get to this point has been phenomenal. It would be so disappointed if we miss out though on one of these Champions League spots through the league for this current season. Now, I think probably if we go and have a look in the UEFA Europa League and we go and have a look at, what am I looking for? So this is the page I was looking for. It just took me a little bit to orientate myself with new skin. Changing skins every day to play the game is really complicated because nothing's where you think it will be. Anyway, I found it eventually. This is the final for the Europa League. And we play Chelsea, and it says here, I thought it was the case. Of course, I kind of knew it, but I just have to make sure so I don't make myself look silly. But continental qualification, winner qualifies for the Champions League. So we have 2 chances. If we do not qualify for the Champions League through the league spots in the Premier League, which is a distinct possibility, they're going to be difficult, aren't they? We could still potentially do it by winning the Europa League against Chelsea. But Chelsea are the Premier League winners and quite comfortably. So 2 really hard routes. Can we do it though? Let's see how we get on in the first game against Leicester City. So in terms of the tactics for this particular match, we are away from home, but they're a mid-table side. I want to control the game as much as is possible. So we're going in with basically our first team 11 with our preferred setup with an attacking and a defensive option to move to if we need to. The only player that's got any issues at all is just the match sharpness of Aldrin, who hasn't been playing much recently. Other than that, everybody else is available. So our first team 11 go out as I currently see it, and that's ILM in goal, Bogle at right back, Pellegrini at left back, Romario and Batista in central defence, Ivan, Olashenko and Martinez in central midfield, with Alart on the right, Guive on the left, and Pauletta up top, with Harwood, Bellis and Matheson, Joku, Barnils, Elliott, Farrow and Monterese all on the bench. So let's get into the first of today's games and see what happens. So I've tried to take the sting out of the game with a team talk that was calm, just to say, come on lads, show me what you can do to keep our run going. The one thing I need to tell you before we actually go into kickoff, just so I don't get distracted by it, is that when I was doing my intro to this episode, I didn't realise that we were 4 days out from this particular match. I thought I'd taken it up to this point, but I hadn't. So we had to play through 4 days. Nothing happened to our team at all. They're all fine and everything's worked in our favour for that. And the other thing that's happened is that Liverpool have played their game, their 37th match, and they only got a draw. So they're 1 point clear of us, and we've got a game in hand now over them. Man United also, of course, and they play Man City today, as I've said already. So there's some room for error here for those two. Can we capitalise on it and get ourselves a decent 3 points and put the pressure on them? Let's see how we get on. So here we go. Kick off and the teams line up. We're going to go into our huddle in a second and try and boost our confidence enough to put in a decent performance. Away from home, this is going to be tricky against Leicester City. They're a decent side, but we're in reasonable form and we're in 5th place for a reason so far this season. Can we demonstrate it on the big matches though? Leicester City down the right hand side get an early chance with Jesus, and the goalkeeper can only parry it out, and he gets the second bite of it, and it's an empty goal. And of course he puts it in there, and we go 1-0 down after a minute of the match. Absolute disaster of a start. No chance for us at all to really put ourselves in this game before they go 1 up. And we've got to do something about that now. We've got to really find a way to get back in this match. Still no chances for us at all. 50-50 possession pretty much. But it's Leicester in the driving seat totally. But Olashenko gets a foot in off to Ivan. Here we go with a chance for us. And they dallied on it. What is going on? Why are they not playing? Why are they not? What's gone on to my star? Oh, I can't believe this is happening. In such an important game, they've gone, no, we don't want to kick it to a player. We'll just stand here and hold on to the ball and wait for somebody to come in and grab it from us and take it and have a chance themselves. Why not? Let's be generous to the opposition. Stop it. Just stop it. Play better. Do good stuff. For goodness sake. I hate these games when it's so much on the line and there's nothing you can do about it when it doesn't quite work out for you, it feels like. Anyway, we got to half time. We're 1-0 down. It's time to do something about it. Clear your head of the rubbish. Let's think about what we're going to do. First off, aggressively, I expect to see a much better performance in the second half. That got a good fired up response. We're going to the tactics and we're going to go into our gegenpress and immediately up the mentality to attacking. And then we're going to go into the second half and we're immediately going to shout and demand more from them and see if we can find a way to push ourselves into this match. Look at that, 12 shots at goal, 4 on target for them, 2 shots at goal for us, none on target. We've just had our first shot on target. It's not good enough, and Leicester City are going to do us in if we can't find a way to stop them doing stuff like that. It's not our day, is it? It's really not our day, as my voice goes even before we reach the West Ham game. I don't know. A highlight straight after. Please get something. Please do a good thing and get something from this match. We need to get at least a draw to give ourselves a chance, really. A lot down the right-hand side. Cuts in. Has a shot at goal when really he should be looking for somebody and with a better angle than that to pass to. But we get a corner kick and Martinez to the far post and Pauletta. Header at goal and it goes over the top, hits the top of the bar and flies over the top. And again, it's Leicester City with a throw-in down their left-hand side. They get a chance to get into the box. The cross comes in for them. Oh, well, of course, theirs is simple, isn't it? They put it on on the head of a player from their side. And he goes, look, there's a goal. I'll put it in it. Slipping away, folks. Slipping away. After such a good season, we're going to potentially miss out on this 4th place spot. I can feel it. Obviously, we've still got the Europa League, but that's against Chelsea, the Premier League winners. For goodness sake, it's such a hard end to the season when the pressure is on. Anyway, we're not done yet. 3-0. Well, we kind of are in this game potentially, but we've got to keep going. Olashenko on the ball gets a chance to run at the defence. Off to Alart, into Martinez, and it gets a 1 back on them. 68 minutes gone. Pause the game. We're going to go into the tactics, and we're going to change some stuff around. Who's not playing well? We've got an issue with Guive down the left-hand side. So Farrow comes on. Bogle not playing well enough down in the fullback position. Matheson comes on. Pellegrini's lucky that we don't have another one on the bench. And then Paoletta missed that headed opportunity earlier in the game. Monterese comes on. And at this point, there's not much else we can do other than go very attacking. And they're all in an attacking formation. All the fullbacks are on attack, so everything's working in that respect. So we'll come back out of there and let's see what we can do. We'll skip the goal. We don't need to see it again. It was a good goal, great. Let's get creative and see if we can find something from the last 15 minutes of the game. We've got to put the pressure on. And they're looking fired up from a team talk they've just received as well. So that's not so great. So they're on form still, which is disappointing. But this is it. This is the form guide. They were in like 3rd place in the league in terms of recent form. And we weren't. And it's really showing. 3-1 down. Can we get another one just to put the pressure on? Or are they going to get a 4th and just kill the game off completely? Good challenge there. Can we win it though? We don't win it. We're not winning it. Excuse me, I'm sorry for any headphone users. My throat is really bad. We're not winning those 50-50 balls anywhere, which is so disappointing. And it was a bad loss against a big rival in Leicester City. Oh, what can we do here? We're going to aggressively, passionately assert. Let's passionately say... Nope, not going with that at all. Assertively aggressive. It's got to be aggressive. Performance has shown me there's work to be done. They'll be training tomorrow. In for training. That's what we need from them. Aggressively tell them that. Let's come out and just check what that's done to the league table as we currently see it. So Man United, if we just move it on slightly, we'll see what happens in Man United's 37th game. And there we go. Manchester United have only drawn against Man City. So we are 1 point behind both United and Liverpool. If we'd have only won our match. It's so annoying. But anyway, can't worry about Leicester. Got to worry about West Ham. It's coming up next. So give me a second to get through to that match and we'll see what we can do. Here we go for the second game of the day against West Ham. Now, nothing has changed in the 7 days since I've been playing through the game. The players are fit and healthy enough. There's no issues to talk about. Nothing has happened to any of the other big sides as far as I know. So we've got a full squad to pick from. We are playing West Ham. And we are playing at home, I think it is today, which is good for us to get that home advantage. So we're going to go in with our asymmetric style again. And I've made a couple of changes. I've gone fully back to my original starting 11 for the season, only because I think it's a day for experience. And the 21-year-old Batista will have another day. Harwood Bellis comes back in and Joku plays in that holding midfield role as well, just to give us a little bit more security, because we can't afford to lose. So just to confirm that Man United and Liverpool are 1 point ahead of us. We've got no control over their game, so we're not going to pay them any attention at all until we know what our result is, and then we'll go and seek out what's happened. So it's all about West Ham. Can we get something from this game? Today, the team will, for this game, should I say, the team will be ILM in goal, Bogle at right back, Pellegrini at left back, Romario and Harwood Bellis in central defence, with Joku, Olashenko and Martinez in central midfield, Alart on the right, Guive on the left and Paoletta up top, with a bench of Batista, Matheson, Ivan, Barnils, Elliott, Farrow and Monterese. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So I've simply gone, if we play our game, we'll win. It's that simple. It's over to them to make that happen. So let's see if we can put the last result against Leicester behind us and actually do something worthwhile on the football pitch and see if we can get a result today. A clearance from their West Ham goalkeeper, but it comes to us in that right-hand fullback, sort of right fullback area, sorry. I'm so nervy, it's ridiculous. I can't afford to lose this game. Anyway, we won the ball back. ILM picks it up and passes it into our central defence. They get a chance to take their time with it. Now, that's absolutely fine, but if they make an error in that situation, then we're in trouble. So I'd prefer them to move it on a little bit quicker than they did, but we did work it out, and now it's Pellegrini down the left-hand side, back into Joku, who will move it on to Martinez, and back out to Pellegrini, keeping the ball well. Where's the chance for us to get a cross in? Here it is, though. Pellegrini down the left-hand side, puts the cross in, and it's Olat over the top of the bar. And that was a really good chance after 7-8 minutes of the game. We should have done better. We should have put it on target and made the goalkeeper do something at the very least. But we didn't quite manage it. And it's going to be one of those nervy days. Olat with a free kick. And was that a good parry or was that the crossbar? I couldn't quite tell, but one or the other gets it away. Olat puts it back in again and they boot it clear. And we're putting the sighters on them. We're showing them we're here to play. Can we make one of these count, though? That's the question. And it's into Guive, but Olashenko will pick up the loose ball onto Pellegrini. Back to Olashenko. And more centrally to Joku. Gets a chance to suppress the game again and calm it down a little bit. Back to the defence. We nearly messed it up. And again there, we nearly lost out on the header, but we didn't quite. We're playing such edgy stuff on the edge of your seat. And it's Olat, and there was a pot shot by Pauletta, but it gets blocked by the defender. That ball movement is so nervy. There's always a West Ham player sniffing about, and if you're not totally dead on it, we're going to lose the ball and lose an opportunity really quickly. Oh man, 44 minutes. Can we take them into the half-time point at 0-0? We can. Now the positive is that you can see here, 9 shots on goal, 3 on target, none of either for West Ham, but they've had more of the ball. So that's really decent to have them no shots at goal at all, but we've got to do something with this assertively. We're not doing badly, but I know you're capable of even better. Get out there, prove it, and then as soon as we do, we're gonna demand more from them and try and get them to really push themselves on. And here comes the free kick in, and we lose that first ball, but Romario picks it up again. Gets it back out to Pellegrini at the back, who'd stayed behind whilst the set piece was taking place. And it's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper. We can reset our shape, get it into midfield through Joku. And, don't play with it at the back. Nicely does it. Please, nice and simple. There's Pauletta back to Martinez. Good ball out wide right. Pushes him too far though, but he gets past his defender. Chance for the cross and Guive down. And it's Martinez with a strike. And on 51 minutes, we take the lead 1-0 from a fantastic move. There's some such edgy play there. So nervy. But once it gets out here, Olat does really great. The defender gets himself into all sorts of difficulty, cuts a great header back from Guive, isn't it? Saw the position of Martinez, knew that he was too far out for the header, drops it back, and Martinez lashes one home, and we go 1-0 up, and almost West Ham come back at us straight away. What do we want to do? Do we want to go defensive? I want to hold on to the ball if possible. Let's see if we can continue to control the game. And it's Pellegrini down the left-hand side, Guive, and he gets a chance to cut it back and keep the ball. And this is what we now need to do. We need to keep the ball, but in positive ways, move it forward when we can. And we're doing that very nicely at the moment. And gradually we're moving up. It comes backwards to go forwards again. That's the controlled possession style. Pellegrini with a good run down the left-hand side. Guive, lots of space. And Pauletta gets a tap in from Guive, piling it in at him at 100 miles an hour. And he sticks out a leg. And the defenders are caught out. And we go 2-0 up. After 54 minutes, we are doing our job. This is fantastic by the guys that in the last game couldn't put two passes together. But this is much, much better. The question is, what are United and Liverpool doing? And we're not going to know that until the very end of the match. That's just the way I've decided to do it. We could follow their games, absolutely. But I think we need to focus just on what we're doing, and then hopefully that will lead us to something. A lot with the ball off the throw-in, and we lose the possession at that point, and West Ham get a chance to counter it, but there's nobody up front for them. They've put everybody behind the ball, and we get a chance again for Alart down the right-hand side, and Pauletta with another goal. Alart with a smack at goal, but it comes back out either off the post or the keeper not sure, and it's Pauletta falls right in his path, and he pushes the ball home with a completely empty net, and fantastic. We weren't winning any of those types of balls in the last game. When it comes out here, I think off the post, normally it's being booted clear by defenders, or when we get 50-50 balls around the edge of the box, we weren't winning them. And today we are, and at 65 minutes, I think we can relax in the sense that this game is well and truly in our back pocket. So we've got a Europa League final coming up. We've got to make sure that we get as many of these players fit and healthy through to that as possible. So Alart comes off just because of his conditioning more than anything else. And Martinez comes off, again, similar reasons. And let's see who else. Romario's got a yellow card. We can't allow that to go any further. So Batista comes in his stead, and we just go back into the game. I don't want to change anything. I don't want to put any pressure on them. And breathe. Let's breathe. I wasn't able to do it for the last 20 minutes or so through the first game and a half. But finally, we're able to breathe. And you can see the top left-hand corner there. Liverpool are winning their game. Did anybody see if United were winning theirs at all? Did anything come up for them? I'm too scared to go and have a look. Dressing room. Let's go through this passionately. Very pleased with the performance and the way you played and the win and everything. Absolutely brilliant. So let's see where it finishes us in the Premier League. And it finishes in 4th. Man United lost their last game. I don't know who it was against. And we got a Champions League spot for next season by the skin of our teeth. Arsenal clambering back at us. Wolves within a couple of points as well. And we've clawed our way into the Champions League for next season, and we've still got the Europa League final to come. We can rest now in terms of Champions League qualification, but we'd really love a bit of silverware, wouldn't we? Fantastic response from the players from that previous game against Leicester City. Derby County qualify for the Champions League. Board set the budget, 73 million. Well, it's what we've got. We'll have to make it work for us. We'll have to see what we can do. There's a couple of things I need to change desperately, I think now moving into the Champions League. But there we go. We received 38 million for finishing in 4th place. Collective bonuses payout, great, whatever, whoop-de-doo. There we go. Derby County, 38 matches in the Premier League, and Arsenal were below us. United were below us. Wolves were below us. City were below us. There's loads of them below us, and we finished in 4th and qualified for the Champions League for next season. Wow, what an amazing achievement. And now we have to reset our focus for the Europa League final and a really, really tricky game against Chelsea. Premier League winners Chelsea in the final. Come back next episode. Please come back and join me for that game and see if we can bring a bit of silverware home with us. An unexpected final for us in the Europa League for sure, and a really tricky opposition, but we've got a chance. We are there. We have a chance. So let's see if we're going to do it. That's for next episode. Thanks so much for joining me for this episode. It was such a weird one with that first game. And then the response from the guys against West Ham was amazing. Manchester United mess it up royally. And we go into the Champions League for next season. Thanks very much for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button on it. Get more people seeing my content by that like button, because these are the episodes that you must have enjoyed. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.